Hey everybody, Rubber Mold Man here. Going to do a quick video to answer some questions that I've received via email. Here's the thing, I normally use this channel to show the how-to as far as making statuary, but I've been getting more and more emails asking about how to make money selling the statuary. And I'll try to answer those emails on a as they come basis, but I figure with as many emails as I've been getting recently with everything that's been going on, I figured now's a good time to actually do a video. And when I say about what's going on, as of the recording of this video, we're in early April 2020, which means we're right in the middle of this whole pandemic COVID-19 thing. A lot of people are stuck at home looking at different ways to make money, so I get it. So it's probably kind of a timely video right now, how to make some extra money. And what better way to make some extra money than by having a hobby that's fun to do. Now that's a lot of the people that come to my channel and contact me. They're just getting started, learning how to make statuary and that. They're doing it more for fun, doing it in their garage and that. But I totally understand. You want to be able to make some money on it if you can. So we're going to share some tips. A couple things I need to get out of the way first. This video is not going to be here to promote a get-rich-quick scheme. That is not how this works. Okay, you're not just going to sit back and do nothing and money's going to roll in. You're going to have to go out and put some time and effort into this if you want to make some money making statuary. Now, if you do so, I guarantee you can make some good money, but it's all up to you and how much you're willing to put into it. The second thing I want to get out of the way, this is not going to discuss opening your own retail brick and mortar store. You may want to do that at some point. That might be your end goal with statuary, and that's great. My family did it for years, decades actually, and you can make some good income doing that, but it is a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of overhead. We're not even going to go there, all right? We're going to discuss how to make some money when you're just starting out as an individual, doing it more as a side business, a side hustle, let's say. So I will give you a little background so you know where I'm coming from. Now, like I said, my family did own a big store. My parents moved to the U.S. in the late 60s. In 1970, they opened their own store where they started selling concrete statuary. My brothers and I grew up doing it. That's all we did. During the 70s and 80s, the business grew to the point that it was considered either the third or fourth largest manufacturer and retailer of concrete statuary in all of North America. It was huge. We had tons of employees. We were open 7 days a week. It was a big deal. But as in any story like that, over the years, people move away, people die, lose interest in that. Both my brothers passed away recently, unfortunately. So we all kind of went our separate ways, as did I. A few years ago, I, with my wife and kids, decided it was time for us to have our own life. And so we moved away. But I still make statuary. My main business is making molds. I learned how to make molds years ago and people buy my molds, but I love making the statuary. That's my favorite part of it. I to this day love seeing the statues as they come out of the mold. I love seeing them painted. It's just wonderful. It's like art. So I still wanted to sell them, but I wasn't about to go start another big retail shop. I just didn't have the time for it. So I'm going to share some of the ways that I came up with that I sold statuary on a fairly small scale, but were successful. I'm going to tell you the pros and cons that I discovered of each one, and you can discover which one might be right for you. Now, before I tell you that, let me just do a quick little plug for me personally. If you haven't subscribed, please do so for more videos on making concrete statuary. My Facebook is Rubber Mold Man, and my website is rubbermoldman.com, and that's where I sell the actual molds that I create for statuary. In fact, we're actually putting in a huge amount of molds that are already made, ready to go, so you don't have to wait for them. You buy them, we ship them out, you get them right away. So, been wanting to do that for some time, finally getting there, happy about it. Okay, enough commercials. How can you sell statuary just starting out? I'm going to start with my least favorite one, but it's one that is successful, and I've known people that have done really well doing it, and that is selling your statuary at flea markets, art fairs, craft shows, farmers markets, and the like. Okay? I'm not a fan. I've done it and had some success, but there's still quite a bit of work. First of all, you got to see what's available in your area. I've known some people that have to drive 2-3 hours just to get to a good flea market. Now, where I'm at, we got flea markets all over in that. Some of them are not so great, some of them are great, but you still have to haul all your product to that location. You usually have to haul it all back that night. Some flea markets, you can rent a booth by the month where you leave your product. That might be great for you. But you still have to stay there all day and watch it, and you're going to have some days you sell, quite a bit of stuff. You're going to have some days you're wondering why you're even wasting your time there, which isn't any business. For me, it just wasn't worth the amount of time needed to do it. Now, yes, I made some money doing it, but I think there's better ways. However, I do know of many people that made, in fact, their entire income was made by going to flea markets and art shows and that and selling their statuary. So if that's what you want to do, take a look into it. It might be the perfect fit for you. I'm going to share 3 other ways, though, that for me personally worked better. The next one is selling statuary online. Now, a few years ago, if you would have said you could make money selling concrete statues online, I would have thought it was a crazy idea, because who wants to buy concrete statues online? Well, guess what? Turns out a lot of people. Now, I'm not talking about starting your own website. You can do that if you want, I suppose. I'm talking more about using what's out there, sites like Amazon, Etsy, eBay, things like that. Love them or hate them, they do have a massive amount of people that go to them, and you can make sales. They're already set up. They're fairly easy to get started with and that. And yes, you can sell statuary as an individual on Amazon. They have it set up for that now. I did this more as a passing thing a couple years ago, started out just to see. I didn't think it would really work. I started a little page on one of them and had some statues, and it was slow at first. You know, statues would sell here and there and that, and then it started picking up and got quite busy. And first thing I realized is it's not fun packaging big statues. You know, I had some really big statues and that. They're not fun to package. So I started just selling nice and small, easy to package. But I just put a few on there, and darn it, if it didn't pick up to the point that it is just regular sales. And I'm actually at the point where I'm kicking myself for not doing more on there, because I think it could become a really full-time business if I wanted it to. I mean, just this week, with the little bit of amount of stuff I have listed, I think I sold 15 statues. Not a lot, but for the fact that I didn't have to do anything, I just sat there and I had the sales, and I just have to make them, package them, send them out. It's kind of nice extra money, in all honesty. So keep that in mind. Not a bad way to get out there and sell some stuff. The one real bad thing I'd say about it, no matter what you're doing online, whether you're doing sales or have your own website or that, you're going to have 1,000 great transactions and interactions with folks, but there's always that one person out there that's going to cause you a heck of a lot of trouble. Whether they are trying to scam you, or they're just out there to, you know, troll you, what they call it, whatever. I run into it every few months. I get somebody that just is there to cause me trouble and that. So keep that in mind. You know, I've had people that start selling online, then they contact me just shocked that somebody would be so rude, or that it's going to happen. You just got to deal with it. People are weird like that. So, but overall, the good far outweighs the bad. Next way I'm going to share with you, and this is a great one as far as I'm concerned, selling your statues to other businesses. Now, don't get scared, because I know a lot of people are thinking that's a lot of work, and that actually it's easier than you think. I can't tell you how many times I've taken 4 or 5 of my product as samples, taken them to a shop, and let them see it and make a sale. I mean, I'd say almost 50% of the time I do that, I end up making a sale at these shops. The stuff sells itself, and if you can make your statuary look nice and is good quality, it will sell itself. And a lot of times they'll place an order, I'll bring them their initial order. Within just a few days, often I'll have a call back, hey, can we order a few more items? These sold right away, we need more of this. It's a great way to start building up sales. I mean, you get 4 or 5 little businesses that buy a few $100s worth each time they order. That can become a full-time business right away. I mean, I started doing it on a small scale, and the biggest problem I had was keeping up with the orders, because all of a sudden I'm having to make a ton of statues that I wasn't making a few weeks prior. But that's a good problem. Can't complain about that. So other than that, you might just be wondering what kind of businesses to go to. Well, first of all, anything that might be anything to do with outdoors gardening, like a landscape center, garden shop, but even regular gift shops and that stuff that normally wouldn't sell statuary, don't sell them out. There's a lot of shops where I'm at that are very ocean and beach themed, that don't sell statues, but they love my mermaid statues and my pelican statues and that, so it works great. So just keep that in mind. Okay, last one I'm going to share with you, and this one is honestly the easiest and probably my favorite, and that is selling your statues from home. And the way I mean it is by actually almost like a yard sale, in the sense of you list them online on a local classified page and just have people come and buy them at your house. Almost every city and town at this point has these pages, usually on Facebook, that are like local classifieds. In our area, we have these pages called SWIP swap pages. I don't know if they're called that everywhere, but that's what they are here. And basically you just go, you know, hey, I got a old washer out by a driveway, come take it for free. Hey, I'm having a yard sale this weekend from this 9 till 3. Come and check it out. Whatever. I went on there. I had a few statues that had piled up that I needed to get rid of, and I decided to try it. I put a listing on there. I said, hey, here's these statues. I put some pictures up. Here's the prices. I will be available this weekend at this address. I sold like $600 worth of statues doing nothing. I was at home watching TV. People were coming and just buying. I had people wanting to place orders then that were buying stuff. It worked perfectly. The only negative I can think in this situation is that you need to check your local laws as far as the local government, what you're allowed to do there, if you need a permit for doing such a thing. Making your own concrete statuary, that does fall under like crafts, so it's, as long as you're not running it as a business, you can usually sell them from your home, no problem. But just check in, make sure you don't want to get in any trouble doing this. But that's a great way. So there's 4 ways that I personally have tested. Again, going out and selling at markets and craft fairs and that, selling directly to businesses, selling online, or just selling from your home. They've all worked. They all have provided a profit. Do the research, see what works best for you. If you have any other ideas or things that worked for you, feel free to send me a line. We'll maybe do a post about it on Facebook. But until then, I hope to see you soon, whether it's on my Facebook at Rubber Mold Man, or you can email me directly at rubbermoldman@gmail.com. But until next time, I hope this helps, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.